Lumi was a small, rechargeable lamp who lived on the corner of Mira's desk. Every day he sat quietly beside her books and pencils, watching her draw, read, and do her homework. But every night, when Mira went to sleep and the room grew quiet, Lumi felt very sad. Through the window, he could see the tall streetlights outside. They stood proudly along the road, shining huge circles of light on the buildings, the trees, and the cars passing by. I'm so tiny, Lumi thought. Look at them. They're so bright and powerful. They light up the whole street. I can only light up this little desk. I'm not important at all. The more he watched the streetlights, the worse he felt. I wish I were like them, he sighed. If I were brighter and stronger, I could be useful. People would need me, they would be happy I was there. But I'm just a small lamp on a desk. No one really needs me. Night after night, Lumi stared out of the window, comparing himself to the big lights outside and feeling smaller and smaller inside. One evening, dark clouds rolled across the sky. The wind began to howl, rattling the window. Soon, rain started to pour, drumming loudly on the glass. Thunder boomed, and bright flashes of lightning cut through the sky. Then, suddenly, everything went black. The streetlights outside went out. The lights in the houses across the street went out. The whole city disappeared into darkness. For the first time, even the tall, powerful streetlights were gone. Just then, the door to the room opened, and Mira rushed in. She was upset and almost in tears. "Oh no, the electricity is gone," she cried. "It's so dark. I still haven't finished my homework, and I have school tomorrow." She stumbled across the room, feeling her way to the desk. Her hands finally touched Lumi. "Lumi," she whispered, "can you help me? Can you give me your light so I can finish my homework?" Lumi froze. Me, he thought. She's asking me? No one had ever asked Lumi for help before. His little bulb fluttered nervously. What if my light is too weak? He worried. What if it's not enough? What if I fail? I have to try, he decided. A soft, warm glow filled the room. It wasn't as strong as the streetlights outside. It didn't reach the whole city, but it lit up Mira's desk, her notebook, and her pen perfectly. Mira let out a happy sigh of relief. "Thank you, Lumi," she said, smiling as she sat down. "You're just what I need." She bent over her notebook and started to write. Page after page, line after line, Lumi shone as steadily as he could. His battery hummed quietly inside him, working hard. Time passed. Outside, the storm raged on, but inside, at the small pool of light on the desk, Mira finished every last bit of her homework. At last she put down her pen. "I'm done," she said happily. She turned to Lumi and said, "Lumi, you saved me tonight," she said. "If you hadn't been here, I couldn't have done my homework. I would have gotten into trouble tomorrow at school. You really helped me." Lumi felt something warm spread through his little metal body, warmer than any electricity. Helped? He thought. I helped? For the first time, he wasn't thinking about the tall streetlights or their powerful beams. He was thinking about the small circle of light he had given, right where it was needed most. Mira smiled at him one more time, then curled up in bed. Lumi stayed on for a little while, watching over her as she drifted off to sleep, and then slowly dimmed until the room was quiet and dark again. The next morning, when the sun rose and the power came back, Lumi looked out of the window once more. The streetlights stood tall again, shining faintly in the early light. But this time, Lumi didn't feel small. They light up the streets, he thought. That's their job. And I light up Mira's desk. That's mine. He realized something important. To be useful and to help others, he didn't need to be like the streetlights. He didn't need to be the brightest or the biggest. He just needed to use the light he already had, in the place where it mattered. I don't have to be like anyone else, Lumi thought. I just have to be me. From that day on, when evening came and the sky grew dark, Lumi didn't stare sadly out of the window anymore. Instead, he waited happily for the moment Mira would switch him on, ready to share his small warm light whenever she needed it. And Lumi was never lonely or sad again. If you liked this story, please like the video and subscribe for more stories.